Hi there, and today I'm looking at the Lego you get with Ninjago magazines. Now, in the UK and most countries in Europe, each month LEGO release many magazines. Amongst them are City, Avengers, Minecraft and Ninjago. And these magazines always have a small LEGO set attached to the front of them. Now, historically, these have always been in a sort of foil bag, as you can see these ones are here. But more recently, as LEGO have tried to become more sustainable, they've been releasing these small sets in a paper bag like these ones. But with the Ninjago theme, less often, about every 3 months, they also release a Ninjago Legacy magazine. And on the front of those, you generally get a slightly larger set with 2 minifigures in it, and that has been coming in this sort of format with a cardboard backing and then a plastic blister packet on the front holding the pieces in place. But a few months ago, instead of the blister pack on the Legacy magazine, LEGO had this rather cool tin. And I've just been to my local supermarket and found out that they have released a second one, so I thought I'd take a look at them both. Now, before I get into the details of these two, if you end up liking this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and of course click subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified of more LEGO videos. But let's take a look at those tins. Now, the first one that came out was Lloyd versus Bone Warrior, and I think these tins are really cool. On the front, the lid is gold, and you can see that the 2 minifigures are embossed, so they sort of stick out proud from the top of the box here. And if I give you a close-up view, you can get a much better look at the embossing on both of those characters. They've also embossed this riveting around the edge of the box, so it gives sort of this gold studded look all the way around the edge. The edges of the box aren't embossed, but they are printed with some great detail. Obviously, this one is in green because it's a Lloyd box, and there's a close-up of the printing on this first side. On the first side, there's eyes and the green mask of Lloyd. On the other long side of the box, it's got Legacy box printed in this silver printing. And on the other end, with a red background, we've got the eyes of Bone Warrior. And as well as just looking cool, the way these tins open is also exceptionally cool, as the lid slides open and reveals all the pieces inside. And if you look closely at the top and the bottom of the lid, there's this slight indent here and also here. And because of those dents, the metal that's sticking out on the inside, as it gets to the end of the tin, the lid can't come off, which I think is a really cool way of ensuring that you never lose the lid to your Legacy box. Once it's open, if you turn the lid over, you can see that embossing in a lot more detail, and underneath are all the standard LEGO disclaimers, including this quite cool printing that says it's a limited edition box, and in the bottom corner a picture of Lloyd with the set number underneath, which is 112325. Now, in this first tin we've got a total of 14 pieces, so our next job is to build the minifigures. So firstly, I'll give you a close-up look of Lloyd, and he's got some absolutely great printing on his torso and his legs. I especially love the printing across the hips there, and also the printing down here on his legs. He's got printing on both sides of his head, a rather cheeky grin on this side, and a much more stern look on the other side. He's also got a nice print on the back of his torso too. And then taking a closer look at Bone Warrior, he's got a red lightsaber piece with a bone in each end as his weapon, and he's also got exceptionally good printing on his torso and legs, especially all this silver detail on his torso, then down onto his hips and onto the upper part of his legs, his lower part of his legs, and even his feet. He's got one of these horn pieces on his head, which was first developed for the Darth Maul minifigure in Star Wars, and he too also has really detailed back printing on his torso. So 2 really good detailed minifigures in a really cool presentation box. And when the magazine came out a few months ago, I was really pleased to get it. So I was exceptionally pleased just now when I saw in my local Tesco this one, which is Cole versus Bone Knight. Again, on the lid of the tin, the 2 minifigures are embossed and stick out ever so slightly. They've made it very similar with the rivets around the edge and also the 2 indents to stop the lid falling off. The printing on the first long edge is ever so slightly different to Lloyd's. On the first short edge, the eyes are obviously printed on black as it's a Cole box, not a Lloyd box. On the second long edge, the Legacy box printing is the same, however the backgrounds are obviously different, and I much prefer this black Cole background to the original one. And then on the final short edge, the Bone Warrior and Bone Knight printing is the same. And as before, on the back we've got all the normal LEGO disclaimers with the limited edition box logo and a picture of Cole with the set number, which is 112326. And Cole gets 1 extra piece with 15 as opposed to Lloyd's 14. So let's put them together. So again, taking a closer look at the minifigures, Cole's printing is also exceptional. He's got printing all over his torso and right down onto his legs, not on the feet, but that same rope pattern across his lower legs there. As with Lloyd, he's got double printing on his head, a nice cheeky grin on this side, and a much more determined face on the other. And again, nice printing on the back, but I do really love this contrast between the orange and black on the back of his torso. Of the two, I think I prefer Cole. I think the contrast on his printing is much better, and I've never been a big fan of the colour green. And then on to Bone Knight. As his weapon, he's got a 6-long bar with another red lightsaber piece and a single bone in the end. As with Bone Warrior, Bone Knight's printing is also really exceptional, with a lot of silver detail, again across his torso, his hips, his upper legs, lower legs, and right down to his feet. Although on closer inspection, you will notice that actually the legs are the same piece. And again, more silver detail printing on the back of his torso. But unfortunately, when he's complete, a lot of that does get covered up. Bone Knight gets one extra piece than Bone Warrior. As well as their headgear and their shoulder gear, he also gets a chin piece. And if you look in the back of the magazine, you'll see that coming soon in the next issue, we're going to get Jay versus Bone Hunter. And I'm really hoping that that will also come in a tin, as Jay's my favourite character, and I'm looking forward to seeing some blue detailing on the tin. Please let me know in the comments below if you've seen these for sale as well, and tell me what you think of them and if they're a good idea. Also, are there any other themes that you would like them to do this with? For example, having Star Wars tins on the Lego Star Wars magazines. If you've liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and of course, please subscribe for more Lego videos.